Dove here, and today we have a new video. And I just wanted to quickly talk about style because I have been having some insights, or I do have like an insight or two on this matter because I was checking out the portfolio of John Kafka. I did an art review of this guy before. He's very focused on anime. Oh, by the way, just a quick side note, in Twitter or X, finally they did change the view setup for the media page. It makes more sense this way, because obviously if you're focusing on media content, it's best to just display the media instead of reading the or showcasing the text. But in a way, X right now, or Twitter, is kind of like Instagram, so there's really no need for Instagram at this point, because you have like the posts on one section and you have the media or images, videos and stuff on this section. So that's cool. But yeah, you can kind of see the works of John Kafka, and in regards to style, I don't think he has, like, you can see the experimentation he takes on in his work. And I think this is the approach you want to have, especially if you're trying to find your style or develop your own. And I think just by looking at this guy's work, I don't think style is something you mostly develop. I think it's something you have to see in hindsight. So essentially you have to do a bunch of work, and once you've had like 100 plus 200 plus pieces of artwork out there, you can kind of look back and see a pattern in your work. Maybe for example, if I just scroll down through this guy's portfolio body of work, very focused on characters, very focused on chicks, so female characters, in the anime kind of style, very dramatic poses, the color schemes, very high contrast. So there are a few things you can recognize as patterns, and yeah, in his work. But I think that's something that you can see in hindsight. You need to have a bunch of work out there, even if this image is a bit different from, say, this or this image. So yeah, even if this image, say this red dressed character is different from, you know, like this chick or this character, even if the poses aren't the same, even if the themes are different, overall, as you see the entire feed of artwork, you will notice patterns. Like, you're not supposed to see the style, I guess, from one piece and comparing that to another. I think it's like your style is that holistic theme, and I think that was something. I think it's something that it was holding me back, having that pressure to have one piece look exactly like the last piece you did, you know? So I think that kind of mentality is going to set you back, and I do know it is setting me back. And it's just nice to see the variety of the style or the methods and techniques. Even though it can be diversified or varied, overall you're going to have a certain vibe from that artist. In this case, when referring to John Kafka, it's very high contrast, very impactful, and lots of experimentations when it comes to the color schemes. And yeah, so you don't have to necessarily pressure yourself to make your new piece the same as your last piece. And eventually you're going to just look behind and look back and see that you tend to do certain things. For example, again, this guy loves, you know, anime types of artwork, focusing more on the face, usually upper body shots. It tends to not be full body. This is one of my favorite pieces, by the way. Very interesting. And he's kind of like a direct drawer or painter, where it's more bolder. I don't think there's, because you can see in a lot of like anime types of artwork where you have the line art where it's super clean, and then you have like a layer of flats, and then you do the rendering above that. So it can be kind of methodical, but it can look a bit too robotic that way. But for John Kafka, there's a bit of genuine, well, not genuine, but more raw feel to his work. And look at how diverse it is. But overall, you kind of get, oh yeah, this is definitely, or it makes sense that it is John Kafka's work. So yeah, so maybe instead of, the takeaway here, I think, is to not purposely develop your style for the most part. I mean, you can make adjustments as you go, sure. Techniques, adding techniques, removing techniques, changing your approach, like minor adjustments. But overall, I think your major philosophy ought to be just doing the work and not pressuring yourself to focus on the style, or having your new piece have to match your last piece, and shifting your mind to, instead of developing, quote unquote developing your style, style isn't something you develop, it's something you see. Whoa. Genius. Yeah, I think it's something you see in the end, in hindsight, once you've done the work. It's the overall appeal and vibe and spirit of your work. And so I know this is kind of like overused advice, but I'm starting to understand how, like, you get your style by not focusing on your style. And basically that means whenever you make something new, draw something, sketch something, paint something, you don't worry so much about how it should look. Just make it. Do whatever feels right. Follow your creative genius. Ooh, and keep doing that. And once you have that whole feed of artwork to study and kind of look back on, in hindsight, you're going to find, oh shit, I do have a style. And if you haven't seen John Kafka's work, I do recommend you check out his Twitter page or X page and see the variety in his approach, and that you can kind of get the vibe like, oh yeah, this is definitely his thing, you know. But you can only tell that because he has a lot of work done. That's also a key ingredient. You do have to produce a lot, make a lot of work, and put it out there, and to make sure it can be displayed kind of like in this way, so you can your progress and obviously see the overall vibe of your work. So don't try to force your style. Simply do the work, do what feels right for you, and think of how style is something you just, like, it's something, it happens. It's something that you have to see, not something that you have to make. It's something that's just there, and you can only really see it once you've done a lot of work. So no pressure. Shift your mindset to forcing your voice. It's kind of like forcing your own voice to sound a certain way. Like, it seems dumb, and it sounds dumb too, because you can kind of tell if someone is trying to like deepen their voice or trying to change their accent. It just seems so unnatural. So I think be where you are, and whatever techniques you have now, use them, and obviously over time add some new techniques, change something, experiment, and then once you have that entire feed of artwork, kind of like John Kafka here, then you can eventually you will naturally have and see patterns in your work. Whatever those patterns are, that's your style. So yeah, so hopefully this episode helps you in some way when it comes to, quote unquote developing your style. You don't really have to develop it. It's something that just you have to see it after you've done a lot of work. So yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.